Hey, Jason Small and Brian Atkins here with the We Know Dirt podcast. Today we're talking about, it's actually a kind of a redo on a podcast we did about some new laws in Iowa. They didn't change the party hunting thing. That's for the
That is in effect.
That's in effect.
No party hunting for non-residents.
But I guess what's the story with the trail cameras? They kind of went back on.
Yep, so they've backpedaled on the trail cameras for public land. And so what happened, when we had last talked about it, I had actually called the DNR, confirmed it, yes, it was a change. Well, then we started seeing some information come out that they was going to back up, leave the law the same, or leave the rule, I should say,
Right.
not the law. Leave the rule the same for trail cameras to where you can still run them on public land, cellular cameras, the whole nine. And so, again, I picked up the telephone and I called and I spoke to Jamie again, same lady. And she said that they did, in fact, release that. It's been about 3 weeks ago. But she said that they did, in fact, backpedal and that it was going to go to the meeting in February of 2025 to be discussed, to where there could be public opinion brought in about it.
Right.
But it is legal to run trail cameras and cellular cameras on public land in the state of Iowa.
Which means they caught grief.
They caught grief, a bunch of it.
That's what I figured. So that's the update again on all this stuff. We're talking about it. We did get the information from the horse's mouth on that, but again, do your own research and make sure you're doing the right thing out there if you're going to go put some cell cams out on public ground.
I can tell you we are.
Yeah,
we fixing to.
Yeah, right. That's exactly it. Yeah, I know you guys are getting ready to run. You and Tyler are getting ready to run some on there right now. And then I guess we were just going to talk a little bit about here we are. We're midway through July. Sounds crazy enough to think. We're over halfway through. And today we just got back. We actually have we're seed dealers, and we just got a load of seed in to put in some greens. I guess in the mix that we mixed the most of would have been the brassicas, the radishes, turnips, rutabaga, and then what's the other one? Some kale. Yeah. So that's primarily for your green plots, and you guys can do some custom plots and then do some of your own stuff and our own stuff and everything else. Got some buck forage oats that we're going to try.
Do a little rye and wheat. Do a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. So it's getting to be time, and I know you talked about. I think Tyler today. He's not in here because he's out there on the tiller right now. I know.
We're working up some of our own stuff. It's a touch early, but we have so many clients and all that we've got to look after and get their food plots done that we try to get our stuff worked up and hopefully get a rain here next week. They've got us a chance and let it settle, and then we'll go in and plant it.
Yeah, it makes it a little nicer as we were just talking. I think I'm gonna, if I get a chance here in the next day or so, I'm gonna go work up some of the stuff I have kind of identified as my green plot and get it good and in shape, because I hate when you till it or you work it. If you disc it, like I've got the disc on the skid loader. And I got a tiller too, I guess, but it just fluffs it up so bad that I don't feel like you get good contact, and it's hard. I think that if you go in there and you can work it, let it mellow, get all that trash out of the way, because a lot of the stuff there's some growth on, whether it's just foxtail or if it's actually sod. I think once you get it worked up, then let it mellow, get a rain on it, and then if we catch a rain this weekend or first of the week like they're talking, about a week or 10 days from now, I think I'm going to, the 25th of July, I think I'm going to let it fly.
Like I told Tyler, I don't want to do like what happened last year. We kept waiting for the rain, and guess what? The rain never comes.
Yeah, well, last year it wouldn't have mattered when you did it. It wasn't going to make a difference.
But we've had pretty good weather here, and we're getting – over here in Memphis, where the office is, we're not getting really dry, but me and Tyler's a little farther west, and it's getting a little dry. But even like this morning when I was working up ground, there wasn't no dust rolling. There's still moisture down there.
A lot of moisture, and there's pretty good chances of rain next week, I think.
They got us Monday through Wednesday, this
is usually the time of year you start missing the rains, and then it seems like the water all parts come August, and we can't buy a rain. But maybe this year will be different. I know the crops. Right now, we were talking about the crops. You guys did a bunch of food plots, custom plots, and you guys have got stuff really looking nice. And a lot of the crops in the area is probably maybe one of the best July crops we've had from cover to cover, soybeans and corn, just in general in the area. And I know the food plots look the same. they're on point and ready to go. I mean, at this point, they're gonna make it, and they're gonna be in good shape.
They made, yeah.
So we're in for a pretty good year that way, and like I said, going to get ready to do some fall plots, some greens and stuff like that. Just loaded up some more deer, some more Banks blinds. Now we do have a dealership in Banks blinds as well, and we don't sell many, but we can get them if anybody's looking for Banks blinds. They can give us a shout, and we can hook you up. As well as any food plot seed or anything like that, and no problem, talking to people if they do have questions, or hey, this isn't working, or this is, or whatever, we can help you, for all we're worth on that end of things. I had no problem with that. What about your cameras? You get anything on?
So we're fixing to get a lot of them out. We've been a little behind on it just because we've stayed so busy, but I've got 4 or 5 out right now on feeders and stuff in Iowa, and getting some good deer. I've got one that's probably gonna finish out in the high 60s. He may get ready to touch Boone, but
yeah,
we ain't went crazy with our cameras yet. But me and Tyler talked about it, and by next weekend we're gonna try to have probably 60 or 70 cameras.
Yeah, I know. Boy's got some. He's got a couple deer that.
Yeah, he's got some good ones. He's got some real good deer showing up
on some of his farms, and he outfits and he's got some stuff, but he's also getting a few.
We say outfits. He has a few guys that he runs, lets them come hunt. And they pay him, but he's got some impressive deer. You better hope that we don't slip in there.
No kidding. He does have some darn good deer, and I know way too much about where they're at. But he's getting some pretty good deer on that 488 up there we have for sale too on the Iowa line. He's got some pretty good deer on that camera. We finally got him into the cell camera, the cell camera world, which here we have a partnership with Tacticam. With the Reveal, we like the Reveal cameras, and I know you guys probably have, between you and Tyler, have 60 or 80 of them.
Even if we didn't have that partnership, we've been Reveal ever since day one.
Right.
Because I've used literally, I think, every cell phone camera out there, and the Tacticam to me seems like the best for longevity. I have the least amount of problems with it, and that's pretty much what we went to exclusive. And
I know I bought some for the office, to have in the office for listings. I think I've got 8 or 9 of them now. They're awesome for not going in there and disturbing. Dave was one of the classic guys. He's run cameras forever. He goes in, pulls the card. Every week he goes in, whether he likes it or not, pushes deer out. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. I think it does for big deer. But now we've got him converted over, and now you just have to do your technical support every once in a while when he messes it up. But that's one big thing that can definitely help somebody's program. Not only just having the food plots but really the cameras make a big difference. Knowing your inventory, knowing what's there, and not saying a deer won't show up that you don't know, and whatever else. If we get into that November 1st, deer start cruising, or maybe October 28th, the deer start cruising. But we definitely, I know I'll have a pretty good idea here in the next. There's a deer or two that I guess some horns over there laying around. I haven't seen that deer yet, but we'll have a pretty good idea inventory wise what's on the farm living there now here in the next couple of weeks, I'm guessing. Yeah. And I would say as far as frame, most of the deer that I've seen, I'd say their frame's 90%
That's where
done.
I think that they're getting close. Yeah. Now you've got some. I've got a couple deer on camera which they held their horns all the way through April, literally. But you've got some that you wouldn't even think like, my gosh, they just started growing. But all that relates to when they shed and all. But I think that more apt, most of them's getting their 80 to 90% full grown right now.
I would say the deer that I've got at the house they're there for sure. I got some pretty good deer on that 107. I know they look like they're there too. Getting pretty well there. They aren't going to add much bone on out there, but anyway, so that's where we're at. Hey, middle of July, we're thinking green plots, putting deer stands up, starting to do some stuff like that. I know you guys are going to put that Banks blind up this afternoon. Yeah. So anybody's looking for food plot seed or blinds, deer stands, or just looking for a little food plot help, give us a shout. We sure help you out however we can, and I guess you guys are going to start slinging some seed probably, you said next
Probably
week or 10
next
days?
week, yeah. As long as we get that rain.
Yeah.
If we get it.
Yeah. So, hey, if anybody's watching out there and you get a chance to send us some trail cam pictures in, we'll post some on this this podcast here. Some of the stuff we've been getting, send some in. We like to look at everybody's pictures and check them out. So, we'll see you.